going on, y'all? About to watch this more Pegasus video. Seeing Hasan get roasted. Y'all know I don't like Hasan Piker. I think he's a clown. But let's check this out. Tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. Hit the hype button as well.
Now let's begin. Right, so last time Hasan was scheduled to give a speech at Stanford University. Now he was actually crying and complaining because they reduced his venue size to 300 people. He claimed it was sold out and everybody was lining up to see him. Free event, by the way.
This literally was a 1,000 person venue that was fucking sold out. They swapped it to a 350 person venue instead. So now approximately 700 people that got tickets to go to this event are not going to be able to attend.
Anyways, the day has finally come and Hasan has given a speech, and oh boy, the college students are cooked.
We're headed to Stanford University campus. I've never been. I can already feel the evil energy in the air as soon as we enter the campus premises. The next war criminal is currently going to a class right now at this university.
What the hell is wrong with him with this outfit, bro? Hasan want to be a dictator so bad. Hasan want to be the dictator. This nigga, he has to come on here with this.
The next big Peter Thiel is going to be here.
Yeah, Hasan, what you're talking about is the dark energy evil aura, which is actually just you walking onto campus, right? We all know Hasan has got demon vibes. If Hasan was a cartoon character, there would be like a thunderstorm following him around at all times. He's kind of like Dio from JoJo because, you know, he abuses dogs, but instead of being intimidated.
Nah, that's crazy. That's great. I just started binge watching JoJo recently too. I'm up to, where they at? Italy or something? They somewhere. I think I'm on like season 5.
And formidable. He's just sort of a clown. Anyway, so it turns out there's actually another guy who gave a speech before Hasan in order to like set him up or introduce him or whatever. And apparently this dude is facing 3 years in prison for his college protests or whatever. So let's just go through this real quick.
Working families are struggling to afford rent. We in the Bay Area are facing the worst affordability crisis for housing in the whole nation. Each year, healthcare becomes more and more expensive. Millions of working people are struggling to meet their basic needs, all while the billionaires, the ones who always put their hand on the scale of our legislature, are only getting wealthier.
I mean, true, I agree. I think Hasan should actually redistribute his wealth as well. And you know who else should help out? Fucking Stanford, dude. Lower their damn fees. Have you guys seen how...
Facts. Big facts. More so, Hasan, what you doing? So she gonna talk about this, nigga, give your wealth out. Give it out. The outfit, straight dictator on the low. He looks like a mustache man. Facts, though. Yep, Hasan is a clown. I agree.
How much they charge? Here's Google. For the 2026-2027 academic year, the total estimated cost of attendance for undergraduate American students is approximately like $100K annually before financial aid. Now they say they have like a robust financial aid program, but let's be honest, most people are not getting that. Now, for example, if I wanted to attend, right, international students exceed $100K annually. So this shit would be like $400-500K dollars for a degree, bro. Absolutely diabolical. How do they do this? This is literally daylight robbery. They expect students to pay $500K, bro. You can't make this shit up. And sorry for a little bit of a tangent, but oh my God, this is the biggest waste of money you'll ever make in your life, right? If you're actually contemplating, if you're like a student watching this and you're contemplating going to one of these expensive universities, please don't. Just pick a cheap one. Education is something you give yourself, all right? Through YouTube videos, all right? These damn institutions ain't teaching you shit. I'm
gonna be honest, I ain't really a full believer in college at all. Maybe you trying to be a doctor or some shit. Yeah, you gotta take that dead ass serious. But anything else that's not on that type of level, yeah, I'm not really a personal believer of colleges. I think they be trying to get you. right? Just try to swindle you out your money. You end up in debt. I know so many people have had friends that went to college for years, bro, and came out and could only get a job at Foot Locker. Foot Locker, bro. Right, which I ain't mad. You can get your job, but nigga, you could have just went straight into the workforce, bro. Like, could have got a job at Foot Locker before college.
Be honest, they're teaching you to become Hasan Piker fans. All right, look at these fucking NPC bots in the audience, which we'll look at right now. Of course, if you're getting a useful degree that isn't gender studies or whatever, you can go for it, but still I wouldn't recommend spending 500 fucking K. And the thing is, you're not making 500K after you graduate, right? People cope so hard, like, you know, actually after 10 years after I graduate, I will probably break even. Congrats, you spent 15 years of your life to break even and then maybe start earning. Like, education should not cost that much, okay? This is probably the biggest scam in history and everybody falls for it. It's actually crazy. No, but you're just a YouTuber. Okay, man. Okay, go ahead. Go spend 500K, all right? Don't cry in 10 years when Pegasus warned you, all right? Also, just to clarify, I'm not saying don't go to university. Obviously, you need to get a job. Not everybody can be a fucking YouTuber, obviously, but just don't waste all your money on it. Like, you can probably get a degree from like a cheaper institution, right? Anyway, so then this guy talks about his charges. He's facing 3 years in prison because of something. I'm assuming this is like college protests or whatever. And I find it hilarious. They're just allowing this guy to speak and essentially inspire more of these protests or whatever.
We have seen Stanford cut funding from grad programs, disciplining progressive protesters for standing for justice, and perhaps most critically, criminalizing pro-Palestine students and systematically attempting to repress our voices. I myself am one of 11 students and alumni of Stanford University who are currently facing 3 years in prison on 2 felony counts for sitting at the university president's office in 2024. I appreciate the support, y'all. This is all while the district attorney of Santa Clara County.
Why the hell is he here talking? What?
County has raised thousands of dollars through campaign events where he flaunts our unjustifiable prosecution and persecution.
Right. So I don't really know anything about this guy. Felony charges for peaceful protest sounds pretty ridiculous. So I'm assuming there was like trespassing or something, like if he was in an office that he wasn't supposed to be, or occupying a building. I didn't really follow the news too well, but at other universities, I think there was stuff like this going on where people were chanting open support for like Hamas terrorists or whatever. So that could probably get you a charge, you know, and they were saying that they were being funded as well by foreign influences. Yeah, but if anybody knows, just let me know, like, why this dude got arrested, right? But he's a Hasan Piker fan, so he probably does belong in prison. So then he introduces Hasan, and Hasan does love criminals, and he's dressed up as Chairman Mao again.
To our speaker for the evening, he is a streamer, he is a content creator, he is a writer, he is an anti-Zionist, he is a socialist, and maybe by listening to the progressive perspectives he holds, perspectives that have historically been marginalized, we can have a couple.
Man, shut up and get off the stage. The hell's all this extraness? So imagine going to college for 4 to 5 years, go in depth to get a fine arts, fashion design, and a theater arts degree, and brag that you're college educated. That is type crazy.
Answers to our big question of what is to be done. So I ask you all, with your hands, with your voices, make some noise and welcome Hasan Piker, everyone.
Yo, nigga, the fit is ridiculous, bro. The fit is nasty. That's a nasty fit. Like, what is he on? This nigga Hasan is different, bro. He was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna come in with my latest dictator wear. Just coming with the bull crap. Yeah, that's me.
Wow, that's going to be a tough speech to follow.
Holy NPCs in the audience, bro. Ay, ay, ay. All those cheers. That is the sound of humanity's IQ being flushed down a drain. This is the status of the brightest universities, bro. This is why I say it. These places just aren't worth it.
Hey, how you doing, Hollow Girl? You said this whole event so cringe, that outfit is awful. Agreed. I fully agree.
All right. Clearly, they aren't teaching you too well if you end up becoming a Hasan fan. And yes, I know it doesn't represent all the students there. They have like 20K students or whatever, and this is like 300 people, of which, you know, there are some people in the audience who aren't even clapping. They're just like annoyed to even be there, probably dragged there by their loony friends. You know, I can't imagine being like a sane person, you know, surrounded by a bunch of Hasan Piker supporters, right? You gotta blend in with the zombies, right? Imagine being like a viewer of the legendary series, and then you're everybody around you is a Hasan Piker fan. Now, I don't recommend you announce yourself, right? You gotta blend in.
Sound like hell. No, I'm sure there's some Hasan fans that's not bat-ish crazy.
Right? You know, like to survive amongst the zombies and like Walking
They are a minority.
Dead, they'd take all the like zombie juice or like guts or whatever and put it all over their body to blend in. That's what you got to do when you're surrounded by these ravenous fucking Hasan fans, right? Because not gonna lie.
Facts, Blue. Who told him that outfit was a good choice? This nigga look crazy.
These are not rational thinkers. They'll probably assault you or something, right? So basically, here's what you got to do. You got to be like, yes, I do love Hasan. Yes, what a funny guy, especially when he definitely did not shock his dog. You know, I love that he loves One Piece. I love it too. You gotta be an omega normie in the Hasan community, right? If the mob finds out you like the legendary series, holy shit, you're cooked. It's like dripping blood in a pool of sharks. Is that even real, by the way? I don't know. That's just an analogy I heard. So then Hasan gives this speech about American imperialism and another 15-20 minutes of America bad. And he tries to make a shock collar joke.
Empires are restless organisms. They must constantly renew themselves. Should an empire start leaking energy, it will die. I think looking at the state of affairs in the Middle East, we can safely say that the American empire is more than just leaking energy. Ever since the end of the Cold War, the United States has been the shot caller in world politics, the only superpower left standing.
Wow.
This nigga's crazy.
Yeah.
You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, yeah. You know your name. You
Nasty work.
Wow, you're hilarious, Hasan. Shock collar. Get it? Because he shocked his dog, guys. Absolute comedian right here. Absolutely nobody laughed. Except your fucking bot chat, of course. The audacity, man, to shock your dog live on camera and then brag about it all the time, meme it. One day, Kaya will be free. So then he brings up his Cuba trip. He is literally never going to shut up about this. He never seems to play the video of his hotel being lit up, though.
I recently visited the country of Cuba, where American sanctions and a trade embargo have been in place for over 6 decades. And I can tell you from what I saw, but America does have guns. America also has bombs. And it has missiles, and expensive jets, and military bases all over the globe. I believe that the American empire is a bad bargain for Americans. A lot of people might get mad at me and say, well, I'm a third worldist. As a matter of fact, it's actually pretty good in comparison to the third world, but it is. Now, it's objectively true that we do benefit in the imperial core, but our empire has a tax. Periodically, we send our own people off to other countries that die in a mission with no real strategic purpose. We have a limited and very expensive form of socialism for veterans, and even that is lackluster.
There's no fucking way this guy is talking about veterans. Bro, you are shameless. Didn't you literally have a clip recently about veterans? Play the recap.
Do you even have your balls remaining, or did a fucking IED explode them for you, dumbass? Shut the fuck up. Go enjoy your fucking PTSD, asshole. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's not very nice, Hasan. You and Froggen should never ever talk about veterans. Boo freaking oh, hope you get PTSD. That's your head mod. the producer of your stream, someone you consistently defend and you approve of, absolutely shameless. It's hilarious to see Hasan pretend that he gives a shit about any soldiers at all. If he had his way, he'd probably let America lose everything, get captured, turn into like a communist regime or whatever. He's explicitly said that is his goal. He wants to elect socialist, communist everywhere and start a revolution in America, right? Which is like, bro's a traitor. Bro's a traitor. Lock him up. So then he tries to be relatable, talking about like healthcare costs, as if this guy has ever struggled in his life.
I grew up in Turkey my whole life, and yet I sound American, I look American, I consumed American products my whole life growing up. I wanted to come here. I believed in the American dream until I got my first hospital bill, and then I was like, oh, this is yikes.
Hasan, for the love of God, don't act like you ever had to struggle ever. We all remember Farragon-sized Hasan, you were always fat and well-fed and torturing horses, torturing animals. You with your billionaire dad, multimillionaire uncle, landlord mom, and now multimillionaire yourself. Like, shut the fuck up. When have you ever had to struggle with medical bills? This does not affect you at all. Okay, fine. Maybe you pay a bunch of money for the chemicals you're taking and the drugs you're injecting. Sure. But it's still probably a drop in the bucket, you know? When you're rinsing your audience dry with your streamers and merch, all these people donating to you. By the way, this guy's supposed to be the socialist, right? Literally taking money from brokies every single day of his life. Every single day he goes live and takes donations from 9-to-5 workers who earn significantly less than him. Never asked.
Who said it's crazy that his fans believe the bullcrap that Ishka says, like, this man grew up rich. That's one of the bullcrap that guy says, like, this man grew up rich his whole life, never had a struggle. Yeah, that's pretty nasty for him to even sit there and act like he had to struggle. But the fact that his fans don't realize it, or they're just allowing him to lie like that, it is pretty nasty.
Hasan, if he's a capitalist, he will absolutely crash out. So then he talks about people trying to cancel him. Obviously, the
Hasan is 100% a capitalist.
Narcissist, got to talk about himself.
There's a lot of frivolous stuff that gets attention. For example, the world economy is about to collapse, and yet for the past week or so, if you've been on Twitter or if you've gone and read the Jewish Insider publication or numerous others, they're talking about...
That's real right there. He said he has never had to make the choice of paying a bill or buying food. Facts. That's facts, Blue. Never.
Me, for some weird reason. They're talking about my Twitch stream and which candidates I associate with, which is ridiculous.
I mean, this is just wonderful logic. So because, bad things are happening in the world, the economy is collapsing, everything is going to shit, you can't talk about Hasan. You cannot criticize anything Hasan does. I mean, in the same vein, Hasan, you talk about Asmongold. I mean, we can play this game all day. You're a popular Twitch streamer and you influence people to do horrible things. In my opinion, you probably inspire future terrorists. So I'd say it's pretty important to talk about you and make sure somebody corrects your lies, right? Bro's unironically like, stop, guys, stop. Let me ruin society in peace. Leave me alone. And oh my God, his glazing chat, bro, just stop jerking him off constantly. Right, I took a random screenshot here. Why are windows behind him? What the frick? Do you think he's going to get assassinated or something? I guess they think he's Charlie Kirk, right? So they're like, protect Hasan at all costs. Yeah, I don't think that's happening, to be honest. I miss my Chinese spy. Like, even your audience has these inside jokes because they know. Muted looks like he's doing stand-up, so your own audience doesn't even listen to you. May Hasan open the eyes of the students. Oh, brother. Right, so Hasan ended the speech in a bizarre way. He talks about
Hey, what's up, Charlie?
America being like this beast, and you're in the belly of the beast, so wink wink, you need to do something about it.
But that makes your work even more important. The Cuban patriot Jose Marti once said of living in the United States that he had lived in the belly of the beast, and thus he knew it well. You all live in the belly of the beast. You know it well. Use the knowledge to fight it for a better world. Sound the alarm on techno-fascist danger. Stand up for the poor and the dispossessed. Free Palestine. Thank you.
Oh my god, bro. Imagine being the NPC bot actually clapping for this moron. Those claps better be because he left the stage. But yeah, they really seem like complete dunces who just cheer anytime you say, America bad, guys. Oh my god, he said it. He said it again. It's time for revolution. Oh my god. No kings, take them down. I mean, that is essentially Hasan's message, right? Basically, start this revolution. We need to establish communism in the US, take down the system, support the terrorists who are trying to destroy the USA, literally chant it all the time. Absolutely insane. He's an op. He needs to be arrested, actually. All right, Hasan's comment section. Hasan going to be the first person to give a speech without a soundboard. Yeah, I find it really interesting that he managed to pull this off without spamming fa. Must have been really hard. Like, he must be having withdrawals. The opening speaker was awesome. You mean the criminal? The Mao drip goes crazy. Like, this isn't even, you're not even hiding it. What the fuck, bro? Stanford University only cares about its brand and its purse. That goes hard. So they like invite these people over to shit talk their own university. That's funny as fuck because they know at the end of the day, these people are still going to be paying them, you know? So it's like hilarious. I'm old, over 50, and I love Hasan. My kids turned me on to this truth-telling anti-imperialist dude, and I'm so freaking happy. All right, Grandma, back in the coffin. You know his finger is twitching bad. I need a socialist closet clothing video. Oh, just look up dictator outfits. I'm a recent Stanford alumni who went to this talk. This was a fantastic event. In my experience, a lot of people who attend seem mostly focused on chasing a bag, founding startups, without thinking about how the work they will end up doing impacts the world at large. Oh, you mean they're trying to fend for themselves, you know, earn a salary, take care of their future family? Wow, horrible. I can't believe they didn't think about the political and economic state of the world right now. Unfortunately, Bay Area culture seems to encourage this mindset. It's especially important to have these discussions in such a place and at such an institution. Thank you for your hard work. Hope to have you in the area again soon. Surely this random bot account is a Stanford alum, yeah. Chairman Piker. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they hate you, and then you win. Young Piker officially on step 3 of 4 in a big way in 2026. Oh, that they hate you. Yeah, well, no, they've always hated him. I don't think he ever gets to step 4, to be honest. They do the first 3, though. He's kind of been stuck on this for like a decade. Presidential candidate level intro speech, bro. What is this delusion? Push the button, Hasan. Start organizing people outside of electoral politics to build an international mass movement. What did you mean by this? I really hope you're not talking about like actual revolution or some shit. Moving on to Hasan talking about American imperialism. Basically, he was doing his classic spiel of America bad. And then a chatter pointed out that Americans likely benefit from this imperialism, right? Like resources, safety, etc. Maybe it harms them too, but there are some benefits as well. So Hasan gets a teeny tiny bit mad, of course.
Western imperialism doesn't benefit those who we crush under our boot. It doesn't benefit those who are actually doing the crushing, and it doesn't benefit those in the imperial court.
He still got this suit on? Yo, what is wrong with him? Well, he wearing 2 different shirts. He got 2 button-ups on. Nigga's bugging out. Change that.
This was my
nasty outfit.
Like I said, Western imperialism doesn't serve the people it subjugates and destroys. It doesn't benefit the people carrying out the violence, and it doesn't benefit the people living in the imperial core. It only benefits capital. It's time to do away with empire and focus on ourselves. It's obviously inhumane and immoral, but even for the most self-interested Americans, the question remains. Each dollar spent on a bomb that hit a school overseas could have been spent building schools in my neighborhood. How does killing the children of the periphery benefit my children? Right? It does, though. There's no reason to lie. See, this is what I mean. A lot of you, I think, are unfortunately too autistic for your own good. And that's why I do what I do and you do what you do. Do you see what I mean? So, like, that's the, like, what's the argument? You want to go to like a random guy living in West Virginia and be like, actually, you are taking advantage of imperial super profits, just so you know. I know you live in a trailer park and you haven't gotten like dental work ever. There's no hospital in your neighborhood. So God forbid something horrible happens to you. You might have to get medevac by helicopter. Okay. But you're actually literally eating the imperial super profits. I'm from the third world, so it's just insulting. Okay, then shut the up. Okay. Then shut the up. This is my point. I'm trying to get Americans to be more restrained in terms of expansive Western empire, so they don't come knocking down your door and rape your family members. But you're over here being like, no, actually, we.
The fuck? How do we get to that? How the fuck are we here now is what I'm trying to figure out. What? This nigga is out his mind. He says prehistoric 13-year-old degree don't mean ish. Facts. Big facts.
You have to be sincere about this.
Whoa, Hasan. You can't be doing that. Hasan telling a person from the third world to shut up. Not very woke, Hasan. Not very woke. That one's definitely going in the Diddy Piker folder alongside classics like I don't care what black people think. Thank you, Hasan. Thank you.
I don't give a fuck what black people care about. Oh, black people care about this. Black people care about that. Like, shut the fuck up. That's not how politics works.
Thank you for the great analysis. Right, so then Hasan finds out that he's on the same side as Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, professional misogynist, and Sneako as well. And he's very confused what to think here.
You probably saw this.
Dude, I hate to say it, like, how the is it that someone like Hasan Piker
I was about to say that. He's getting it right. Hasan Piker is on the right side of this issue. I like Asmongold.
I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about Myron Gaines being on my side on this issue. But yeah, it's just like strange that many right-wingers are now being like, yo, Hasan is actually kind of right about this stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, man, I'm actually anti-war. Welcome to hearing an actual anti-war perspective. That right-wing audience thinks you changed because they think you became anti-Semitic like them. They're completely misunderstanding it. Yeah, it's so funny that like their worldview is based on voting for Republicans and just like arriving at maybe a correct conclusion about like being critical of American imperialism, but not on the basis of like death, destruction, violence, but more so because they're just arriving at that like anti-Semitically somehow. I don't know. I don't know what the these guys are on. Oh my God. Is my speech going to be streamed tonight? /S. Yes. I don't believe they are fully aware right-wingers. I think they're just amplifiers for the same propaganda most Americans fall for. Even edgelords have some self-reflection. I just thought it was interesting that they were on Asmongold, where they're like, oh, I really like Asmongold. I still like Asmongold, but he's just like been kind of weird on this Iran stuff.
Well, what do you know? It seems like the anti-Semites just absolutely love you, Hasan. Now, what does that mean, right? I'm not saying correlation is causation or anything like that, but Hasan is seemingly perplexed. He's like, somehow, Sneako, they arrived at this conclusion that I, Hasan Piker, am anti-Semitic. How would they do this? How did they come to that conclusion? I don't know, Hasan. I feel like they're pretty expert authorities on it, right? So I feel like they would have a pretty accurate assessment of who's an anti-Semite and who's not, considering they themselves are anti-Semitic. So they have welcomed you. They're like, my brother, Hasan, yes, come. You have been welcomed to our cause. Dude, how absolutely insane is it that you have people on the opposite side of politics? This isn't centrist or right wing. Okay, this isn't centrist right wing Democrats, as Hasan would put it, right? These are actual like far right people, right? Who essentially disagree with Hasan on basically everything. Every left wing policy, they completely disagree with it. They're not progressive at all. But then after seeing Hasan and how much he doesn't like a certain group of people, they're like, you know what? This Hasan guy's kind of great. I kind of like him now. He really gets it in a way that other people just don't, you know? Also, of course, the thing he's actually mad about is Asmongold. Like, come on, man. You gotta get something new now. So then we have like the funniest part ever. Hasan is listening to Sneako just trash a bunch of right wingers, right? So he's like enjoying it. He's like, this is actually going pretty well. He's saying some base things right here. And then Sneako goes ahead and says the most unhinged shit ever right after and denies the Holocaust. Holocaust. And then Hasan is just dumbfounded. He immediately regrets it. This reminds me of when they played him on Iranian TV and he's like, yes, yes. And then, no, Sneako, no.
No! No! They put me with Sneako! No! I didn't realize! No! No! Turn it off. Turn that shit off.
Trump just said on stage, he's saying that he likes to keep losers around him because it makes him feel better about himself to see losers. He doesn't want successful people so that he could talk about his success. How can you still support him? And you're right, the right wing is completely subverted. This is why I think it makes there's a good argument to vote for Gavin Newsom in 28. But again, this supports I've been saying this the whole year, that it's not about right and left, it's about right and wrong.
You said, I don't know if you saw the previous episode, BX, but CNN came out and disavowed Hasan. That's crazy. That's wow. Wow, that's hilarious. Of course because he's trash, bro. Nobody want to be associated with him. Word up.
Aligning with these sort of ideologies where they can say like, oh, are you like a liberal who like loves Iran? This is how people become brainwashed and become part of a mental cult to prevent themselves from seeing the bigger picture. Almost everybody in the right wing is incorrect. Like there's no alignment I find with these people. This is the biggest issue. And to think that we have something in common because, we both talk about transgender issues or LGBT is incoherent. I don't think that there's any sort of basis in saying I'm right wing, I'm left wing, because why is it now that Hasan Piker is on the right side of this more than anybody in the right wing? We've been ideologically against him for so long on many issues, but on this he's correct. And I called him out. I said, like, look, you're calling me a Holocaust denier, even though they're lying about the 30,000.
It's just like, this is what I mean. It's like, I'm not, and I will never be a denier of real events. Okay.
Oh my God. Absolute gold right there. Hasan thinking like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I actually like this guy. Wait, Sneako is trashing Trump. Oh my God. I love this. He's trashing the right wing freaks. This is absolutely great. Maybe he isn't so bad. Proceeds to deny the Holocaust. Like, oh my fucking God, bro. You cannot make this shit up. Yeah, congratulations, Hasan. This is where you've ended up with, right? This is your associates now. These are your friends. This is actually who you've aligned with now, right? Your Iranian regime buddies, both on TV together, best friends forever. I never thought I'd see the day where Hasan was so colossally regarded that he found himself agreeing with Sneako, right? Like, it really is the horseshoe theory of where, like, you've somehow come around the other side now. So then he talks about the true numbers of how many people died in the Iranian protests. And Hasan knows, of course, right? He was there in person. The government of Iran obviously messaged him personally, right? And that's how he knows, right? Sarcasm for any brain dead Hasan fans that didn't get the joke. Don't slander him, bro.
It's not even because like, oh, the Holocaust is like special status or anything. It's just like objectively stupid to look at one of the most well-documented atrocities of all time and just to deny its existence, right? Yeah, no. And then he says, oh, they're lying about Iran. You know that they're lying about the 30,000 number in Iran. Yeah, there's a difference, brother. Like, yeah, I understand that. Just because Israel now, or even America now, lies about certain things in order to justify military intervention doesn't mean that like atrocities in the past are also fake, right? I don't know. I don't understand it.
Thank you, Hasan, of course, for your expertise. Hasan, obviously, he knows the true numbers, right? He knows exactly how many people died. He's personally done the forensic analysis. He's done his on-the-ground journalism, went to the battlefield, examined it all with his tiny, tiny head. I really wonder how Hasan is so confident. I mean, maybe his buddies told him, right? Maybe they gave him a quick heads up going, Hasan, You've done free work for us all this time. You've done so much propaganda for us terrorists all this time, right? So we'll just give you a heads up. We'll tell you in advance, insider info, right, about what actually happened, and then it'll really help you frame, really trustworthy, really reliable, or maybe he got this from his favorite news source, Al Jazeera or some shit like that, right? Oh wait, no, I finally realized. It was the 1 million tweets he read. Of course. Right. So then he talks about giving people a chance and letting people change and better themselves. And I don't really know who he's specifically talking about here, but the context seems to be Sneako, unless I've got that wrong. But like, I don't really think that guy's salvageable, to be honest.
Like a fundamental worldview that I have that I think many people misunderstand is that I believe that ideologies, no matter how dangerous, can be changed. Okay. I believe in rehabilitation. This is the attitude that I have consistently across the board, even if someone is a Zionist, even if someone is a Nazi, right? I believe that people can change. I believe that people can better themselves. I believe that people have that capacity. Okay. If I didn't believe in that, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Brother, he just denied the Holocaust. Like, I don't think he's
Hasan is nasty as hell, bro. Man. Time after time, you're going to keep proving it.
really getting any better, dude, as the years go by. In fact, I feel like he's only getting more and more regarded as more years go by, right? At a certain point, you got to give up on people, right? Like, I'm all for change. I believe in the goodness. I've watched a bunch of anime, always believe in the good-heartedness of every individual. But sometimes people just show you who they are. I mean, Sneako argues against the age of consent, right? He wants to change the age of consent. He supports child marriage, and Hasan goes, you know what? I think I like this guy. He's anti-Semitic like me. You might have a point. He's learning from me. Absolutely insane, bro. For your sake, Hasan, I do hope that people change, because then maybe you can change, right? Maybe one day you can get better and stop being this evil force in the world, this evil piece of shit. We can all dream. Phil responded, why has he got Mao drip? Looks so good in his jacket. High collars really work for him. Yeah, it's not really good. Looks good in the dictator outfit, of course. Sneako will end up on every side eventually. Yeah, I mean, he's just as much a grifter as Hasan, to be honest. Sneako is an intellectual now, guys. I love how Hasan's audience is also like, you know what? We actually love Sneako now, after he literally denies like an insane atrocity. Sneako is right about one thing. I never thought I'd say that. The left-right division is thankfully worn out. We can now start talking about issues on their merits much more. This is a return of nuance. Hasan Piker viewer talking about nuance. For those who aren't getting what Hasan is getting, I don't think anyone is. When he says that Americans are selfish, you need to talk to them. He means structuring your points or discussions around a way that puts them in the center. May not sound good to others, more effective to get them on their side. Yeah, basically hide your power level and lie to them. Be like, we love LGBT, and then say you love Hezbollah, right? Just wait a bit and then get to it. Hasan is on the right side of this issue. I also like Asmongold. Sneako's another capitalist grunt grifting with his mouth to climb up. Right, that's what opened their eyes. There's no solid evidence, and it's the most well-documented event in history. They're literally children who, when presented with evidence that refutes their crazy worldview, close their eyes and go la la la. You mean like fucking Hasan fans when you show them that he shocked his dog? You mean literally you guys? Moving on to Asmongold.
I'm sorry. Something just told me that they was going crazy. I hate them so much. Y'all probably can't hear me because I got like what's his name on? Like I got effects that could take away the noise. Yeah, hear that? I hate them, bro. What a passion. I would never be able to be in here and just be peaceful. Hold on, let me turn this back off. Y'all probably can't hear it though. I hear that shit. That shit is foul.
Gold being canceled by Twitter again. Apparently he's getting a bunch of like violent threats because he commented on the World of Warcraft Pride event.
But Asmongold would expand on his thoughts about the World of Warcraft Pride event for this month. And well, a lot of people are talking about it and a lot of people are very angry. Let's hear what he had to say about the event.
I think that it is so insufferably fucking annoying that gay people, trans people, and everybody inside of the LGBT
I think I covered this already.
umbrella, not everybody, but the outspoken, pathological, narcissistic, self-obsessed, self-referential attention whores inside of these communities can't stop talking about themselves. And because of that, they need every piece of media to reaffirm their identity. It is fucking exhausting for me to have to see every single thing has some sort of gay pride, trans pride.
Well, that's cool. I don't mind covering or I guess seeing if there's new information about
some variation of this. And this is coming from somebody, I support gay rights. I support trans rights for adults. I support a lot of these things, but I don't want to fucking see it in every single piece of media constantly. It is this overcorrection where they want to put their sexuality front and center and basically force people into interfacing with and acknowledging that they are what they are. This is exhausting. It's confrontational. It's unnecessary. And it's insecure. You want to suck a dude's dick? Go ahead.
Hey, yo.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up about it.
Right. I mean, I don't really know much about WoW. I don't play that game. But to be honest, if it's just like one event, I don't really see the problem. But apparently they've been sort of inserting this type of like woke stuff all the time. And in some cases, it can get annoying. For me, as long as the content's good, I never care. For example, TV shows, suddenly the past few years, they've been ruining a bunch of stories by inserting a bunch of characters that don't fit the story at all or plot just for some, woke points or agenda points or whatever. Bunch of different narratives about.
But God, I had someone I was roasting as my picture. My bad. I just want to make sure I could grab my phone so I could report the noise. Yeah, I'm petty, bro.
Political stuff. And if you just put it in for no reason, obviously it's going to ruin the story. Everybody's going to hate it. But if you do it in like a tasteful way, in a way that it's actually supposed to be there, it's part of it, it's natural, then everybody's going to love it, right? And the main point is to keep it entertaining, keep it good. Like some shows have, great representation or whatever, and nobody really minds. Like if you pull up something like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right? The show is funny and entertaining, right? Nobody's going to complain about like a gay black guy or anything like that. But then there's other shows where it just goes a bit too crazy, where they just insert a new like LGBT character every episode, unrelated to the plot, and then the straight person actually turns out to be secretly gay. It was supposed to be a cop show or a doctor show, and now it's some gay romance or something. It's like, what the fuck are you even doing at that point? People are just gonna get sick of it, and even the people who wanted the representation in the first place are gonna be like, stop, what the fuck you're doing? You're making a mockery of the whole thing. I feel like the best way to make people more accepting is to not force it and just introduce it naturally if the plot actually calls for it. So anyways, people are very mad and they are threatening him.
Asmongold loves to talk like he's a perfect example of masculinity, and I just know I'd break his jaw with one punch. First of all, shiver me timbers, Matthew/Alex. This person right here is going to break your jaw, Asmongold. I'm sorry you're finding out here, but this guy, this very tough individual, is coming for you. Please stay safe.
And nigga don't look tough at all. Any way, shape, or form. I don't think he's breaking nothing.
But here's some more quotes saying, I ain't unmuting that. Someone sprayed pesticide in his graveyard of a home, so we no longer hear his thoughts. Another post wishing death on Asmongold. I mean, what's new from the tolerant people? But here's a reply from this person saying, this guy isn't in jail. He's like sick in the head and very dangerous. Here's another quote saying he's like the Netanyahu/Hitler of gaming. A very interesting comparison.
That's wild. Compared him to Mustache Man. That's insane. Hey, what's up, Neckbone? How you doing?
Israel and Hitler.
Oh boy, yeah. Twitter users being deranged. I mean, nothing really new there. That's just another day on planet Earth. God forbid you have an opinion. I mean, feel like you can, voice your opinion back saying, okay, this guy's an idiot. I completely disagree with him without threatening to end his life. That's going to threats is always going to make you seem like the loser. I don't know why they're so explicitly violent as well. That's insane. That's kind of antithetical to being an accepting person, right? I don't know, just really weird. They can't win the argument, so they have to turn to violence. That guy couldn't break a Kit Kat. Yeah, that's an interesting decision, trying to threaten people when your face is out there and stuff. That's very weird. Not very smart. Now click this video or you become an...
It is pretty crazy. As far as the whole Hasan thing, he's a clown. Straight serious. He's a loser. But that's in my personal opinion. Tell me what yours is down in the comment section. Also hit the hype button.